Tiny caravels, submarines, ships that are an entire island? You name it. The world of One Piece is populated with all kinds of them, and today we will have a look at the top 10 most popular pirate ships in One Piece. Number 10. Nostra Costello. So, we will kick things off with the Nostra Costello. This ship isn't just a pirate vessel, it's a sea fortress that boasts having power and protection. It's owned by the fire tank pirates and is a real piece of work. I certainly wasn't exaggerating when I said it's a sea fortress. This thing looks like one too. It has the figurehead of a rook with dual cannons. You certainly can't be safe enough on the open sea. Oh, and don't even think that this ship will be useless without its sails. This thing can still move on without it. This is all thanks to the retractable tank threads that it has on its sides, and it can travel on land as well. Talk about a jack of all trades. Unfortunately, this ship was destroyed by Big Mom and her homie Prometheus. Still, a ship like this definitely earns the number 10 spot in terms of popularity. Number 9. Perfume Yuta. Moving on, we will have a look at an interesting ship called the Perfume Yuta. This ship is owned by the all-female crew of pirates known as the Kuja Pirates, along with their captain and former member of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, Boa Hancock. This ship is another one on our list that is a giant red floating chunk of wood, but this one is more similar to ancient Chinese ships called the junk. Unlike other ships that have a figurehead, this one has 2. And not just any figurehead, they are actual live Yuta. These Yuta allow the ship to navigate the calm belt, which is pretty difficult to cross due to the absence of ocean currents and winds. In addition, it also has paddle wheels at the rear for that extra boost. Number 8. Thriller Bark. Have you ever wondered what would happen if someone wanted to explore the seas without leaving their island? Well, Thriller Bark is the result of that question. This isn't just any ship. In fact, this is an entire island, and it's owned by the former warlord Gecko Moria and the Thriller Bark Pirates. As you can tell from the fact that this dude hijacked an entire island, this unsurprisingly makes the Thriller Bark the largest ship in the world of One Piece. This ship comprises a massive outer wall that surrounds it, with a gate that is similar to a mouth that opens and closes. But on the island itself is a mansion in the middle, with a mast that connects 4 separate chains to the outer wall. A ship like this was made to resemble a scene out of a horror movie, and is one worth mentioning. Number 7. Polar Tang. For our next ship, well, I don't know if I can call this a ship, but it moves in water, so I guess it could pass. Anyways, this ship, or submarine you could say, called a Polar Tang, is the vessel of the Heart Pirates. This vessel is more or less made of metal, and since sails have no way of working under the sea, it uses engines instead. Although its top deck is made of wood and has retractable masts that can allow the use of sails when the engines go off. It's a yellow submarine with a light green underside, with an array of torpedo cannons. The Polar Tang was built by Wolf, and was originally named Hanamaru Muteki before it was given its current name. I don't know about you, but I believe this stealthy Batmobile of ships definitely deserves its spot. Number 6. Queen Mama Chanter. Our next contestant is more on the uncanny side, but we shall explore it anyway. Meet the Queen Mama Chanter. This beast of a ship is many times larger than even the beloved Thousand Sunny, just like your mother. It is the flagship of the Big Mom pirate fleet and belongs to Big Mom, of course. Unlike all the other ships we've covered, this ship is a homie. If that confuses you, it basically means that the ship is alive, thanks to Big Mom's devil fruit. This ship looks like something made by Willy Wonka with its obvious confectionery theme. Its figurehead is pretty much shaped like a clown and wears a tricorn hat with a crown. It also sings the word ship continuously, but I believe having a mute button would be really handy. Now this ship is a real treat. Number 5. Red Force. We're halfway through the list and we'll have a look at the Red Force. This is a ship owned by Shanks and the Red Hair Pirates. With a ship that is owned by a pirate like him, you know it's something we definitely can't ignore. This one is just like their previous ship, but it's bigger, better, faster. Get it? You know the thing that Daft Punk said in that one song? Okay, never mind. The ship also has a bigger, more ferocious looking figurehead, one that properly reflects its captain, and was first seen approaching Moby Dick, which allowed Shanks to meet Whitebeard. At this point, I believe that the Red Force would be a Cano and it would still be on this spot because of, you know, Shanks. Number 4, Moby Dick. Moving on, we'll have a look at a leviathan of the seas that isn't your mother, Moby Dick. This behemoth is owned by Whitebeard and his crew of pirates. It's a massive ship with a white whale as its figurehead. Its appearance is similar to the 4 other ships under Whitebeard's command, but unlike those ships, this one is much longer and thicker, although this one does not have any paddle wheels like the rest. Unfortunately, it couldn't carry on since it was set ablaze by a Kainu. It's also possible that Whitebeard loved his ship as much as the Straw Hat Pirates loved theirs, but hey, it's just a theory. And with that, this ship takes number 4. Number 3, Going Merry. We're in the top 3 and our next ship is going to be a promising one. This one will always be remembered by the Straw Hat Pirates and even One Piece fans. We have the Going Merry, the old faithful of Luffy and his crew. This tiny caravel's design is a simple yet elegant one with a light brown color and white wooden details that curve to simulate a sheep's wool. In addition to that, its figurehead is a sheep which really pulls the design of this sea herbivore together. As the first ship the crew ever owned, it was gifted to the crew by Kaya for defending Syrup Village against the Black Cat Pirates. This trusty steed became so loved by the crew that it even became their friend. Not just a bundle of wood and sails and flex tape. It was loved so much that the Klabauter Man, a manifestation of the ship's soul, appeared. A feat that can only happen if a ship has been cared for enough. Unfortunately, they had to part ways with their beloved ship and give it a Viking funeral. Despite being a small ship, it'll always remain in the hearts of the Straw Hats and will be among the big 3. Number 2, Oro Jackson. In second place, we'll be speaking of a legend. In fact, our next ship might as well be considered the definition of that word. We're talking Avengers level kind of legendary. The Oro Jackson is a pirate vessel that belonged to the one and only Pirate King Goldie Roger and the Roger Pirates. That's right, the Pirate King who found the One Piece. This ship is made of atom wood. Keep in mind that this wood is stuff that is considered legendary and is so durable that it can withstand cannonballs, gunfire, and possibly your mother-in-law's cooking. Its figurehead appears to be a pair of mermaids along with a forward-facing cannon. In addition, this ship has 3 masts with red striped sails and a large egg? Well, I'm not one for questioning design choices, but whatever floats your boat. Anyway, the notorious Oro Jackson was built by the shipwright Tom A. Shipwright, who was considered to be the best in the world. Imagine building a ship so notorious that the shipwright had to be sentenced to death for even daring to make such a vessel. You know what they say, haters gonna hate. But number 2 still belongs to this ship. Honorable mention, Hitsugi Bune. Before we move on to number 1 on our list, I have to give a shout out to Hitsugi Bune. This water vessel is not exactly a ship, but a small craft used by Dracul Mihawk. Man figured he was not the strongest swordsman in the world for nothing and set sail on a tiny raft alone. What's even more ridiculous is that he somehow managed to sail across the Grand Line on it. This is a sea route that has even managed to traumatize sailors, and my guy decided to make that journey alone. That's some respect. Number 1, Thousand Sunny. Here we are at the top of the list, and nothing gets even more legendary than this. Coming up is the fitting successor of the Going Merry, dubbed the Thousand Sunny. And no, it's not a weather report or a sunblock brand, rather it's a magnificent ship that was built by Frankie, one of the best shipwrights in the world using atom wood. Yes, the same wood that is considered the vibranium of pirate ships. This ship and the Oro Jackson are the only known ships that are made entirely of this, making them one of a kind. Let's talk about its special features. This Swiss Army knife of pirate ships has a feature called the Coupe de Burst, which can launch the ship into the air. Just like its predecessor, this ship also has an animal figurehead. It's supposed to be a lion, but let's just ignore the fact that it's going through an identity crisis. This thing holds the Guyon cannon, a cannon that can fire powerful blasts of air that can be mistaken for an energy beam. With a legendary ship like this, it's a perfect match as the Going Merry successor, and it's no wonder that it takes the top spot on this list. What do you think? Which one is your favorite? Is there any ship you feel that is a worthy mention? Feel free to write them down in the comments. And that's all for this video on the most popular pirate ships in One Piece. And see you in the next one.